What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Scarlet N Great Ohio State football with Scarlet N Great here on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining us once again, and thank you for the great response to the last video. Got a lot of likes, a lot of comments. The subscriptions were rolling in. I could tell you guys had fun with the Rose Bowl. It was an epic game. So with that, Cory and I are going to move forward on this show. We're going to take a peek ahead of what's next. We're going to get into the new player Ohio State just landed from the portal, talking about the new coach, of course, in Jim Knowles that we know we have, and the coaching changes that we think may be likely. Right now it is speculation. Some of you super smart web sleuths, may know as much as any of us about what's going to come next with the coaching changes, but we feel like we've tried to pull a little bit of info from what sources we do have and piece together what we think is coming up next. So we're going to get into that. Before we do, please help us with growing this channel. You guys did great last time. Like I said, please like this video if you are excited about the upcoming changes, namely Jim Knowles. If you're as excited as I am, as I know Cory is, as I know red-blooded American Buckeye fans who love their country and hate terrorism are excited about Jim Knowles, please like this video. Because what he did, you need to educate yourself if you don't know what he did at Oklahoma State and the other places that he has been. So please like this video if you are very excited about the Jim Knowles defensive coordinator hire at Ohio State. And without further ado, I'm going to bring in the man that makes it all run smoothly, Florida Cory. Florida Cory.
Nothing about this Florida man makes anything run smoothly.
Yeah, you haven't done anything smoothly in your life, have you?
Never, no.
You ever get to? You don't even drive to work smoothly.
No, I make sure
three
there's
or four
a bubble
headaches.
in my tire or something that I bump. It just vibrates, and
you get 3 or 4 headaches before you even get to the job
don't
site.
quite change the spark plugs right away, so it stutters.
Well, let's hope something goes smoothly for Team Buckeye. How about that?
Yeah.
Obviously, we know about Jim Knowles. We're not going to beat a dead horse, but Cory, he brought somebody with him.
He did.
And not a coach yet. I mean,
maybe eventually, yeah.
That could happen. But he brought a player, and many have said the safety is the quarterback of the defense. I don't know if it's this safety since he plays 3 of them. But Tanner McCalister, Cory, comes over from Oklahoma State. Good pickup?
Absolutely. Phenomenal pickup. Was a really, really quality safety for Oklahoma State. Played pretty well against Notre Dame, in fact, in the bowl game. And the best part about it is he's a guy, he's going to start right away. Okay, it's not even up for debate. But he also understands and knows Knowles' defense. He can help the rest of our defense begin to understand it. Zach Smith talked about bringing in a guy that's going to kind of be his second in command. We assumed a coach, and that may still happen. But this guy is going to be his captain on the field, hey, can you please help the other guys get it so we can get it quicker? The transition, it can make the transition a lot more smooth. Very, very happy about this. When I saw him in the portal, everybody in Buckeye Nation was like, hey, go get him. Perfect fit.
Yeah, they certainly were. And not only that is I guess we're playing 3 safeties a lot of times now, 2, because we hate linebackers. We don't want them to play good, and we don't want to play very many of them.
So make sure you recruit 3 or 4.
Another show for another day. I'm going to make the case why that is going to hurt linebacker recruiting. But anyways, because I hate the 4.25. But I like Jim Knowles. Yeah, this guy, Cory, can you nail down for the audience the safety position that he plays? Is he the box guy like Hickman?
Well, Dan Hope wrote a great article about it. Figured to play more that cover safety position, almost like Marcus Williamson, line up in the slot quite a bit. He's also, by the way, really good friends with Jackson Smith and Njigba. So, I mean, the chemistry is already there for the team because Jackson's going to go into next year as a captain. We already know that. He's going to be one of the leaders on the team. And he can already be he can acquiesce to the team that much better. With a big star on the team, already being friends with him and the new defensive coordinator. It's a perfect match, perfect fit. It was a no-brainer. But, yeah, more that cover safety spot.
So not the third linebacker not
No.
not Ronnie Hickman,
But
and
he's
not
good
the
enough to
high guy like Proctor
no.
or Shaw, but the guy that would be the second in the cover 2, or the guy
Yeah.
that would drop down and jump in the
He's
slot.
good enough to play against the run, though.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, that
But
makes sense. Since
again, it's like,
Williamson did get stacked in the box at times too.
yeah, at times. But again, he must have been thinking about that picture all the time when he got stacked in the box. But anyway,
I've seen it more often than I would like to.
yeah, okay. But anyway, that being said, it's like Ronnie Hickman, Josh Proctor, Tanner McCalister, Court Williams. You got a bevy of pretty good. Lathan Ransom, if he can get his recovery and get healthy again, you got a bevy of really young talent there at safety to work with. I mean, I think that next year's defense could legitimately be fire. Taron Vincent taking a step forward like he looked like in the bowl game. You got Tyleik Williams, Jack Sawyer, JT Tuimoloau. Eichenberg took a huge step. Maybe he continues his ascension. It's then you got other like Steel Chambers, Diamante Trayanum, and you still got a Naote on the team. I mean, you got a bevy of talent to make that defense pretty good next year.
You really do. So
CJ Hicks, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention CJ Hicks.
Cam Martinez looking to take this next step.
Yeah.
So
of course, you got Brown and Burke as your
that's
bookend,
your staple, right? Your guys that
and
allow
then
you
you've
to
got
play.
reports of Hancock and J. Kalen Johnson looking good in the bowl preps. I mean, again, the defense legitimately could be fire next year.
It could be. So going into that, Cory, past just Tanner McCalister, you and I both are of the mind that you bring in a new DC. You have different rumblings about the other coaches on both sides of the ball. It seems unlikely that this would be the only change. It's not set in stone that there's going to be more coaching change.
Well, we know Barnes is at Memphis. That's the only one we know for sure right now.
And so that could be your 1-for-1 swap with Jim Knowles. But you and I think, both lean towards the fact that they're not quite done yet. Where are you kind of speculating when you put your thinking cap on about what's next on the coaching staff?
I will say this. The guys that we're going to mention have been invited back. We just don't think they will be back for various other reasons. Coach Coombs, of course, Ohio State treasure. It's interesting that cornerback AJ Harris, I don't know necessarily favoring Ohio State, but Ohio State was a major contender for his recruitment, delaying his commitment. I mean, is that a sign that Coombs is gone? We hear from our buddies that are close to the program that Coombs was avoiding the media like the plague after the Rose Bowl, and we know why that is. He didn't want to answer those questions, obviously. So is that is the delay a sign? Is the fact he's avoiding the media a sign? Who knows? But then you got to look about who are they going to bring in? I mean, does a Tim Duffy or Dan Hammerschmidt come over for Coombs, leaving Oklahoma State? Duffy was the cornerback coach. Hammerschmidt was the safeties coach. I think Duffy would be the one that would be most obvious for that. I'm just not sure. There's also a couple names. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to butcher these names. I already apologize.
I hope you knew.
Yeah, you always root for my downfall. There's Matt Guerrier. I don't know how to say his name, but he's a defensive back coach from Duke. We don't think Mike Elko, or I think his name is Mike Elko, the new coach of Duke, will keep him. He's got a connection. He was brought up on Buckeye Scoop for what it's worth. I'm not going to sit here and claim that I came up with that one. There's Archie Collins from Pitt. Is another one.
You could say that one. You said that one pretty good.
Yeah, that's a pretty standard name. And then there's Azar Abdul Rahim. I think I got that one right.
I think you did good.
Yeah, I think I did.
I guarantee you missed the first one.
Oh,
but I think the second and third one were pretty good.
Well, I mean, let's be honest here. If
this was a 3-point shooting in a game, I'd pass you the ball again. You hit 2 out of 3.
Yeah, he's the defensive. Azar is the defensive back coach at Boston College for his second season in a row. So,
okay,
we could steal one from Hafley.
would you consider him maybe at this point a Hafley disciple because he
maybe
coaching the back end of the of the defense? Jeff Hafley's that's his specialty. You know what I mean?
Hey, I mean, I guarantee you anything, we're going to be talking to Jeff Hafley about it. So, because if Coombs is gone, I mean, I think he is. I would venture to guess he is. There's just a few names for you to remember, and try not to remember the one I butchered, but look it up for yourself.
It may be Guerrier.
Yeah, I don't know. It could be French instead of.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like I don't know.
Uh,
You know what? Because I can't pronounce his name, I don't want him. So.
Yeah. So you're saying maybe after National Coaches Convention when that would happen.
Yeah, after the National Coaches Convention. Remember, this is where we kind of let Taver Johnson get another job. We allow him to wear the Ohio State patch at the convention to give him a little prestige, even while Ryan Day was basically saying, "Look, we're not bringing him back."
We walked him to the job fair to help him look cool.
Hey, it was Real Life Wednesday for coaches.
Yeah. Do we have a date on that convention, Cory?
I don't have one on me. No.
Okay.
I think it's this week. But
okay. Well, that's fine.
That being said, that's also how we hired Larry Johnson. So it worked out pretty good for us. Not that Urban didn't know Larry. Obviously, everybody knew who Larry was. But this is an opportunity to talk to these coaches and have an informal interview.
Yeah, for sure. You'll wonder if it'll be. I hope it won't be quite like right in front of Kerry. Maybe like, hey, are you better?
That would be an Urban move.
Or yeah, like Zach Smith said, right on the plane or back or whatever, coming back from the Clemson 31-0 game.
Kerry Coombs' wife to the new DB coach.
Yeah. What did he say? Right in front of Ed Werner.
Yeah, right
he said, "Hey Zach,
what do you think about Kevin Wilson and Ryan Day?"
Well, I guess if you already told him you're fired, no sense in delaying.
I thought it was a troll job, and Zach said no, he was just in his own little world when he was there. He didn't even realize the guy was back there.
I didn't know I let him on the plane.
I thought I left him in the tarmac.
Exactly. Okay, well, moving on, Cory. We are trending for a new defensive tackle. And tell us one thing, who it is, and tell the fans what that tells us about the coaching.
Hero Canoe. That's a big one we're looking for. He's a 96 rated guy. He's been an interesting one. He's been an interesting one because it's been like an up and down with him. We were trending for him, and we weren't trending for him. Looked like Georgia might get him. Texas A&M tried to get on the Texas A&M. Just when they try to get to a recruit, that's all it is. And then all of a sudden we're trending for him again. These the fact we got Amaria Barr recently, Caden Curry not too far behind that, and then of course now this guy we're trending for, Hero Canoe, is gonna. I think he's gonna. If I'm saying his name wrong, I apologize, but it's a Canoe, whatever. You can look at it and say that, it's pretty much Larry's. We've been told he's told these recruits he's got 2 to 3 more years left.
You would think to get Aber and this guy, like this guy, or even trending, just Aber alone or Bohr alone is, you would think, like, there's a way you could recruit him and let him know, I don't know if I'm staying or not, but it just doesn't seem likely to land the biggest names with that kind of tactic.
Yeah. I don't think, we're going to say he's going to straight up lie to people.
No. I just think, that maybe he could be upfront about him is, I don't know if I'm going to be here or not, but if I weren't, this is likely who you'd be in the hands of. This is, you're coming for the program, not for just a man. There's a way to recruit around it. I just don't think that's likely a very good way to land the guys they just landed.
No, I agree. But it's just like, my guess is I'm a little curious though. They've already told people that Al's going to move to defensive line. I don't know, but that was always a thought because that's where he came from. But we've been told Larry's going to stick around a couple more years at least, and I gotta believe that it's going to hurt future recruiting classes, just not this one necessarily.
I think, in the future,
I think
what
you're
they
going
need to do.
You're going to have to start figuring out an exit strategy.
Right, and pin down when it is so you can recruit around it.
Yeah, exactly. Because
bring in the guy behind him who's going to the heir apparent that you really like, whether it's the guy over from, I think it's Temple, or wherever, or if it is Al. Yeah, it's time to start recruiting around it, because if we're asking it this year, it means you're going to ask it every year till he comes back, or till he leaves.
And that's the thing though, is that you kind of need to. I'm getting beeps all over the place. We kind of need to figure that out. Like, so we don't have a 3-year gap in defensive line recruiting. You can't, because all the rumors persist, and Larry Johnson abruptly says, "Okay, I'm out of here."
Right.
They've got to be able to handle this with grace and to respect Larry, but also to understand that time comes for everybody.
Well, and not only that, Cory, is now you got to manage this portal thing. So the
Yeah.
guys
Oh
he
my
brought
goodness.
in, he's going to have to retire
That's what they're
while
probably
some of
figuring. If
his
he retires next year, I'll hit the portal.
yeah. If he retires while his guys that he recruited are there, they still have eligibility left. You got to. Larry Johnson's a legend. You got to replace him accordingly, but not to spend too much time on that.
No, I agree.
We next up, Cory, a new boom comes in for the Buckeyes, and from a position, maybe not the biggest position, but a position group we want another body for offensive line, Carson Hinzman.
I wish it were a tackle, but he is a really good player, and I love the fact he's a farmer and just got that mean streak.
Ooh,
about
maybe
him.
We'll make him a tight end.
Yeah, we might make him a tight end. Him and Kate Stover running double tight end sets for us. Anybody who comes in who's a farmer is automatically a tight end. It's like, go get Paul Blake from Necessary Roughness, who's a farmer. You got a great arm, but you're a tight end. And here's an old reference for you. But anyway, that being said, look, I like the fact we picked him up. But then again, we've heard rumors that Stud may be gone. Now, part of the reason why Carson Hinzman...
Well, that's why it came.
Stud's gone, right? Okay, well, we're all good then. He was a Wisconsin lean for a very long time, and they just lost Joe Rudolph to Virginia Tech, who's our offensive line coach and offensive coordinator. So that helped us, obviously, with the recruitment.
Yeah.
So, but again, if we're also losing our offensive line, maybe it's like a win-win for him. I don't know, but
yeah, or he was recruiting to the logo, not the man.
Maybe. I mean, it's just, again, Wisconsin puts plenty of offensive linemen in the NFL. It ain't like he can't get to the pros from Wisconsin. They win enough games. It ain't like he can never experience winning. But going to Ohio State, obviously, you're going to experience the opportunity to play for national championships. And I guess with the portal, some of these kids might make these kinds of decisions and be like, you know what, if it doesn't work out in 2 years, I'll just hit the portal. And Wisconsin will welcome me with open arms. So, but again, does that mean Stud is gone? Stud reacted to it on Twitter saying boom and everything. And so everything I keep hearing is that his back is bothering him. They've invited him back, but his back is bothering him. He might need to retire and have surgery and just relax. If that's the case, we've already said who they're going to go after, and that we learned from a good source that there he is, Justin Fry. If they offer him, he's a Buckeye. Offensive line coach, probably sees some title, whatever they got to do to give him more money. But he's the guy. They'll offer him. He got a history of Ryan Day at Boston College, history of Urban Meyer, history with Chip Kelly. Obviously, whom he works for right now. Yep. Ryan Day's mentor. And then he go from UCLA, which is an average program. I'm sorry for those who are offended by that. They're a very average program.
Sure.
And to a national title contender in Ohio State and coach the best of the best. So I wonder. It could mean one of two things. It could mean that Stud is sticking around and he likes Stud and he wants that stability there, or he heard about Justin Fry and said, "Okay, great, let's go do this."
Yeah.
Maybe he doesn't know who Wisconsin's going to replace Joe with yet, or maybe.
Yeah, that's strange because say they were up front with him. Yeah. And I think that's a very Ohio State thing to do. We're up front. Studs might not be coming back. It would seem odd that he would go, "Okay, I'm going to commit." Because I don't think they would be as so bold to tell a recruit, "Hey, we're going to go get Justin Fry," because you're not going to tell a kid a man's business. Sorry to offend all you guys that think we should treat players and coaches exactly the same, but that's not what you're going to do. And two, it's not a guarantee, right? UCLA could find a bunch more money and say, "No, come back, Justin. Yeah. You're the heir apparent."
It is LA.
Right? Yeah. So. That is odd because, for Stud to have surgery mid-season, that's got to be bad. Like the discomfort and the pain he was in. I've never heard a coach doing that. I
don't know if he had surgery mid-season. I think he has to have surgery.
He had surgery mid-season this year and missed games.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah. The guy behind me probably would have fired him.
Guy behind you hired him.
He would have fired him for having surgery mid-season is what I'm saying. That's just something that you don't seem to that's you don't do unless it, of course, you
maybe just
absolutely
the pain
have
got
to.
so bad. I can't even stand up, coach.
Right. I'm saying it was so bad that he had to do
You might
it.
want to lose about 60 pounds. That would help. But
That would help. Yeah.
I'm just being real. I'm not trying to mock him, but dude, that ain't helping your back. Trust me. I know.
Well, Fat Cory can tell you all about it.
Oh yeah.
But no, this is an odd one because we think it's a coach that maybe was time to move on from. He had obvious health problems because mid-season surgeries don't hear, but coaches doing that, so it had to be pretty bad. And we know we have the target we really want, Justin Fry. All three recipes for moving on, but then you get a recruit from that position from a guy that was going to go to Wisconsin that likely didn't go because they lost their O-line coach. We're going to have to wait and see. I hope we have answers to this one soon.
Yeah, I would imagine we do because they want to probably do it before signing day, I would imagine. There's too many programs out there, and we're a too high-profile program. We're going to pull some nonsense right after signing day, and like, oh, look, our whole staff's gone.
Breaking Urban Meyer's old program sees kids. That's what it would be, It would. Well, Cory, you got a few more things. Why don't you bring us home these last few points?
Yeah, you notice that Michigan beats Ohio State once, and they have rumors about Harbaugh going to the pros, which I think is just a trick to get more money. But because he's like, hey, I won the Big Ten title, and I went to the playoffs. He should pay me more than what you pay me. But then you got the director of recruiting, I think, leaving, the defensive line coach leaving, like a parallel move almost. I think he might be co-DC or something. I don't know at USC. Going back to he's from the West Coast originally, so I get it, but he's going back to the West Coast. You got all these players, some of them entering transfer portal, some of them just going pro, early and things like that. It's just kind of funny that it's like, man, they beat Ohio State once. They figured, well, this is the peak of my career.
This would be like Hakeem Olajuwon retiring after the Jordan exodus. Like, all right, I want to stick around for this bloodbath that's coming back.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of funny. It's like, man, they're all dipping. Well, this is a program that I was told the culture was fixed. And I don't know.
Could you imagine hiring Jim Harbaugh as a NFL head coach again off of this one season?
The Raiders and Bears might do it. I mean, I don't think he's going anywhere. I really don't. I'm not trying to sit there. I just think he's like Ryan Day with the Chicago rumors. I think it's a ploy to try to get more money. But
I think you're right.
But everybody else is leaving, and I'm like, okay, dang, man. But I think Michigan's in for a rude awakening next year.
Regardless if these people win or stayed. I know you felt that way, but this doesn't help their case.
No, I even saw some Michigan fans that I'm friends with say, man, look like it might be a rebuilding year next year a little bit.
Built-in excuse. It's like blaming the refs before kickoff, right?
You know how Ryan Day is on revenge games, man.
I would not want to be them.
No, especially with our team gelling and getting Jimmy Knowles in. It's like
it's going to hurt.
Because really, since the Michigan win against Iowa, they've been on a little bit of a downward trend, whereas Ohio State's been more of an upward trend. So it's a little interesting. We'll see. I guess you can, unless you count Kevon Pope and Marcus Williamson griping, is part of our downward trend for us.
Yeah, maybe something we can talk about.
Johnny, it's really unfair that you host the show when I've been here longer.
I won't listen to your experience because I said it's happened to me before too.
I'm older than you. I should be.
You're treated unfairly. Your opinion doesn't matter either.
No, it doesn't.
I'm the adult. You are the student. You have to get used to it. But you're older. Still doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
I was a higher ranked recruit.
I'm elite though, because I said so.
Because you're saying, you won't be treated. Put in a parentheses. I am. Well, that's probably good topic to talk about another day about the Kevon Pope stuff, rumors, coaching. How did it get this way? And should we pay?
I got some theories on that. I love to get back into another podcast.
Yeah. And it'd be all the more reason to pay the kids millions of dollars. Look how mature everybody is. They can handle it. All right, buddy. Well, it's good talking to you. We'll have to get another show. Hopefully some of this news materializes. We can actually talk about it and what it means going forward. So I appreciate Cory always for being here and helping us on this channel as he is the proud partner of, but not as much of a partner as me, even though, like I said, he's been here longer, but I am more important. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
You ahead of me.
Al Washington is. But again, thank you guys so much for all the subscriptions and everything that you grew this channel with last video. Do it again this video if you'd like. Thank you so much. As always, goodbye. God bless. Go Buckeyes.